Lesson 120, number 14. It's got a quartic, and it wants us to find the region of interest and then sketch the graph using our knowledge of graphs. So the region of interest, you just go through and look at the coefficients of everything. It's supposed to be normalized first. Normalized means the lead coefficient is 1. So you could just imagine dividing everything by -1, and that would make your biggest number -3. But the absolute value of -3 is just 3 plus 1. Your region of interest is 4. So that means that you can just draw a graph, and you can just have 4 points to the right, 4 to the left, 4 up, and 4 down. And then you can just plug numbers in, 1 through 4. So I always start at 0 and just see, work my way up and work my way down. So when I plugged in 0, I got -2, and when I plugged in 1, I got 0, and when I plugged in 2, the number was too big. I don't want to graph 2, 12 on my graph, so I just know it's going to shoot down here somewhere. I'm supposed to use my knowledge of how a graph looks, and so I wrote down here all the different graphs. So you'll notice that this quartic has a minus sign in front of the lead coefficient. So that's what makes it, instead of pointing upward, the end behavior is going to both point down. So it's going to be upside down. Like here's y equals -x. Here's y equals -x squared. Notice that the exponent is even. There's a minus sign in front of the lead coefficient, so both end behavior on the right and the left point down. Here's a cubic, a negative cubic. Normally the right hand side would point up and the left hand side would point down, but it's got the negative sign, so it reflects it across the x-axis. Okay, here's what a negative quartic will look like. Instead of pointing up, the two endpoints will point down. Okay, so I know mine's going to look like this. It's going to point down on the right and down on the left, and it's going to have some curves in it. So I know that we got this. I just plotted 1, 2, 3, 4 points, the 4 points that actually fit on the graph. -3 gave me a big number, so I just know it's going to shoot down here, and then I just kind of fake it. Like we don't really know how high this little peak goes, but I'm not even worried about it. If I wanted to know how high it went, I could plug in that's -1, that's -1.5, and I could find out if it shoots up higher or not. But this is just a rough sketch using my knowledge of the shapes of the graphs and the region of interest.